audio, video, cardio. Hell freaking yeah. But last 2 weeks, it's time to get real. Now is where I call the cutoff of what I would call, I don't want to say fake foods, but I kind of do mean fake foods, So protein bars out of the mix. Actually, that's really it. I haven't been eating anything really like funky, like high fiber tortillas out of the mix, like low carb bread. If you've ever seen, I think it's called, I don't know, just like Smart, things like that. Things where it's like a real food that's supposed to be kind of like sort of a diet substitute. Like I've had a couple different kinds of protein bars that I've just been like slamming tons of because the macros on them are pretty good. But 2 weeks out, now is about the time to essentially switch from regular gas to premium. People are making fun of me for doing the canned chicken. Honestly, I think the canned chicken is fine. That just might be like a perception thing, but yeah, so essentially protein bars are out of the mix, and there is no, I guess there is room for fluctuation, but I'm not trying to give myself any room for fluctuation. Now is the time to really kind of tie it in and make sure everything is in order, which is good. That's the exact freaking plan. So this morning, I'm going to try to leverage a lot of my carbs for later in the day, closer to kind of bedtime, just so it's easier for me to stick to my deficit. I might drop my calorie intake by 100, maybe 150 per day, kind of go forward like that. Current cardio is going to be 45 minutes twice a day. I was just doing an hour for like, not a week, but almost a week. So an hour in the morning, hour at night. That was too much. I could kind of tell I was overdoing it. So I think 45 minutes is right. I said that earlier, but then I sometimes I can't help myself and I want to do more. But yeah, I think an hour. Excuse me. I haven't drank my pre yet. I've got a little bit of a drive to this gym. But yeah, 45 minutes post-workout, 45 minutes on its own session. That's about right. That is about freaking right. So this morning's breakfast was brought to you by Grant Romer. If you're aware of the Trend Twins, Grant has been makes a lot of appearances in those videos. He's like half their camera guy, half like just like lifting with them. But we were talking at the Fit Expo, and he told me a little bit of a trick. I don't know if he'd want me to reveal his secrets here. Personally, I'm always going to talk about the ground beef and oatmeal. I got no qualms with a meal that's both filling and nutritionally aimed at whatever your goals are. But he tells me, you know what? Mustard, cinnamon, and chicken is a underrated combo. So this morning I decided to try it out. 1 can of chicken. So actually not even a ton of protein, only 30 grams worth. I'm trying to do smaller meals, more evenly portioned, just so I never come into the kitchen like with a hankering. Because when I do that, it throws off my whole day. Like if I come into the kitchen and instead of having a 500 calorie meal, I have a 1,000 calorie meal, oh, now I gotta wait twice as long for the next meal, or I gotta go to bed hungry. It sucks. So now I'm going to kind of aim for 400 calories per meal more frequently, just so I'm a little more full kind of evenly throughout the day. But yeah, so I do this. I strain the can of chicken, so 5 grams of fat. I mean, really 3, but I'm going to overestimate because I don't want to miss calories, if you get what I'm saying. Like you'd rather have too much money for dinner than not enough is what I'm sort of trying to get at. But yeah, 1 can of chicken, a whole freaking to the regular person, probably a gross amount of yellow mustard. To me, it was good. It was the perfect amount. But to a regular dude, there's no way anybody would use that amount of mustard in one meal. Like, no freaking chance. And a whole bunch of cinnamon all kind of poured on top of each other. And this is something I'll do every so often, especially with the chicken. Sometimes with ground beef too, depending on what the sauce is. But I'll add a 2 or 3 Splenda packets, the sugar-free coffee sweetener, which I'm aware That sounds pretty silly, but have you ever heard of honey mustard? Right? So a sweetened mustard is not weird, but adding stevia to low calorie, or to, without substantial caloric add, sweetened mustard, that's strange. Yeah, but I mean, this deep into prep, I'm beyond judgment with these meals. As long as they're working, that's all I care about. But I stirred the whole thing up together. It did not feel like it needed to be microwaved. This ended up being just a room temp can of chicken, and it was freaking solid. Something about the cinnamon also kind of like felt pretty filling too. But either way, that only puts me at like 300 something calories so far for breakfast, and it was pretty filling. So, I might go forward with that. Is that necessarily a recommendation? Maybe not, but it's just one lifter's 2 cents on the matter. But plan for this morning's lift is going to be to slam some chest. And I think that I'm like wasting too much time by doing a workout and then going to a different gym to do my cardio. So like I'll go to my private gym and then I'll still stop at like, Planet Fitness or something to use the treadmill or like the seated bike or something. But then it's like 15 minutes in between the gym's lift ending versus getting to do the cardio. I'm kind of like starting to cool down. I can't believe I busted my cardio bike, and I didn't order a new part for the pedal because I'm just a total fool. So I don't know, but either way, for these next few lifts, I think I'm going to make sure I've got cardio in the exact same place that the lift is going to go down. So as soon as I finish the pose down, I can get straight onto the bike. And this is something that I would probably put pretty high on the importance list for cardio, is making sure that you don't have any barriers to doing it. So whether that's having a gym in maybe your apartment complex has a gym, or you've got a treadmill in your garage, or you've got a stationary bike at your grandparents' house, which maybe they're not using it, you can take it. That was my story with a cardio bike that I still have. It doesn't matter, but to have it somehow be easily integrated into your routine is going to make it so much easier to do. Like it's and like I don't want to overstate the importance, because for most people it's whatever. It's like 30 minutes of cardio, screw it, I'm skipping it, doesn't matter. I got a pump, man, we're good. So it's a very easy defense mechanism to say I don't need to do my cardio, I gotta go eat something and recover. But I think it's kind of like the military logic of starting off every morning with a perfectly made bed, because you always start the day off with a W. You started off with a win, you did something, you accomplished it, and then it bleeds into everything else, So in an off season, that's when I'm doing my morning cardio and then a night lift. So it's a little more like in tune with that instant wake up, do my cardio. Now it's, wake up and go lift and then do the cardio. But it just bleeds into everything else, right? The guy who is going to do his 30 minutes because he knows it's good for him, and it literally is going to give him better results in general. He's going to be at a baseline leaner, better cardio health. I mean, everybody's always making a shtick out of that. Plus, his lifts are going to be better because he's got better cardio and he's not going to get so winded. He's going to be able to eat a little bit more food because as a system, he's burning more energy every day. There is no downside. The only downside is most people are not a little bit, just straight up too lazy to do it, And that's, you can lead a lifter to the gym, you can't make him pedal. I've said that probably 2 or 3 million times, and I'll say it 2 or 3 million more. But enough of that little rant. The lift will be not subdued, but it's just not that wild right now. So I'm talking some cable work, maybe some converging chest press. This gym has some pretty cool converging chest presses. Not as heavy, just because I'm not going super heavy right now, but I can guarantee within 30 to 40 minutes of working set number 1, I'll be posing down in the mirror thinking I look like a freaking freak, or at least I hope so. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I think nothing else to discuss. I'm gonna get this half scoop of Super Thavage combined with a half scoop of just Bum Essential down my system. A full scoop of the Super Thavage has been a little bit too much because it's like 400 milligrams of caffeine. So I've kind of been backing off a little bit by mixing it with one of the more normal ones once. But yeah, once that's flowing through me, unstoppable is a good descriptor. Unstoppable is a good adjective for this freaking pump, that's for sure. So yeah, no more talking. Let's get started. This is a good start. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. Okay. One more. Yeah. Okay. Ooh. All right. That's enough of that. Let's, I don't know what I'm doing next, but let's do something different. I'll think about it. This will be good. So, only 2 plates, and I really want to squeeze at the top. There we go. Yeah. Yeah. Dude. Ooh, alright. Threw a 25 on. Yeah, that was probably just about as much weight as I could handle. Not too heavy.
I did not get the burger. I just went to the grocery store to get the food. I promise, you know, you got the light, you know, it's rush hour traffic. Yellow, I'm out there, stuff is red. I'm getting ready to go, and I see this guy. He's fucking slowing down. He's doing like 60. I mean, it was red as all red could be, and I started going a little bit.
I'm gonna finish with one cable. And I think that'll be it. Okay, there we go. Let's be a little quick about this, but that ended up being the finisher just with that set of pec decks. And if my forearms are any indicator, I'm feeling rather dry this morning. which is quite the good thing. So let's just run through a few shots and then get straight to cardio. Because the sooner you're done with it, well, the sooner it's freaking over. Oh man. All right. Let's save the discussion for post-cardio, but I feel like a fucking freak right now. This is gonna be a good show. Yeah, that was good. That was what I would call a rather good lift. And yeah, I need to either get, well, not do I need to get my cardio bike fixed, but yeah, doing the cardio immediately post lift, like no waiting in between, just like pose down, done, straight to the bike. Oh, way better. You don't lose your momentum, you keep your heart rate up. Yeah, if you're gonna condense your gym sessions into just one trip per day, let's say you don't have a cardio machine at home and you don't have, maybe your schedule like really does not dictate twice a day, and twice a day is a lot. So yeah, man, post-workout cardio, absolutely no problem with me. 30 minutes, moderate intensity, get a sweat, and shit, I'm not sitting there doing insane sprints or anything. My heart rate's around like 135, so in whatever zone is like slightly above moderate, but not like super intense. And that's all you really need from daily cardio. Like don't be fooled by a Goggins. Don't be fooled by the runner types. Like if you're a runner, that's different. But for us, just more lifter kind of oriented. We just have to sit on the bike, pedal a little bit, get sweaty, and you're cool. So that's my freaking take on the matter. But yeah, plan now is get home and guess what? I'm gonna have a repeat meal. I'm just gonna repeat exactly what I had before with the cinnamon mustard sweet chicken. So if you're crazy enough to try it, I don't think you're gonna be that disappointed, but that's under the kind of sort of not preconception, but a given that you're actually dieting for real. Like all these meals that I'm eating right now, like the rice cake ground beef, or like the cinnamon chicken little bowl, and a bunch of the other kind of just protein like mashes that I'm having right now, I don't eat these in an off season. Like I'm not gonna be 260, in 8 months or whatever, thinking, man, I want some cinnamon mustard chicken, But when you're in a legitimate diet, you get just a little bit of a different perception of food. And that scares a lot of people. A lot of people are very emotionally attached to food. Either when they were younger, people were, not even people, like your parents sometimes could, make fun of people for your weight, which is so weird because, like, if you were a kid and you've got kind of like some dieting, like, I'm not trying to undermine the situation, but if you've got like dieting based trauma from your parents because they were being like total punks about like if you were slightly heavier than you should be or something, well, they're the ones giving you the food. How is that? Like, that's just freaking nuts. But food is very fun. Food is enjoyable. Food is you're basically only biologically programmed to do 3 things, and 2 of them are basically the same: eating and drinking. Like, you're made to do it, so it's hard to fight against that, right? I mean, if it's like, what are you gonna prefer, a cold shower or a warm shower? Give me the one that gives me that dopamine response. But that's where we've got to kind of separate ourselves from the apes. We've got self-consciousness and at least some level of free will, whether you're, what's the word? It's like the idea that you think you have free will, but predetermined. Yeah, unless you think you're somehow predetermined in the world. Like, you know, you can fight against that urge. You can fight that urge to eat 3 Reese's Cups right now. And now that even me talking about a Reese's Cup, now I'm fighting the urge because I'm thinking about it. I'm definitely, I got a hankering for treats, man. You know, I've got a sweet tooth like no other. I can put it down. But I'm going to control that side of me because I have a greater end goal, which is to hit a grainy ass side chest on the Arnold stage in Columbus and then in the UK, you know, and that supersedes the amount that I would like to, you know, destroy 10 bags of Mike and Ike's or 10 bags of Skittles. But I do get to have some of those the night before the show, which I'm actually really excited about because I can really carb up with probably 70% like cream of rice, like just very super simple carbs, easy on my digestive tract, so I can actually kind of, you know, absorb them too, or not absorb, but actually like make proper use of them and really carb up. But I'm gonna have some treats too, man. I mean, I'm gonna have some sherbet or some sorbet, like pure just sugar. I mean, literally just pure sugar and some water in kind of frozen form. But yeah, I'm gonna have some treats. So, you know, that's the difference, right? The difference between us and, you know, I don't want to, not a lesser organism, that's a weird way to describe it, but we can say no. We can say no sometimes. We can shut the cupboard door and we can say, as much as I would enjoy this in the moment, I'm not going to enjoy it going forward, you know? And also, I've done it before. I've had like pretty crazy cheat days. Sure, I mean, it's like, it's a weird feeling because it's not even just like straight up enjoyment. Like if I'm in an off season and I'm eating a bunch of sweets or something and I'm getting really carbed up, at least I can like really enjoy it during and afterward, because I can basically, you know, look at the situation like, all right, I just had some candy, nice. I'm carbed up, nice. I'm gonna go work out really crazy fucking hard and do my cardio because I'm well fed from having a good amount of carbs in my system, nice. And the whole situation's sweet. But dieting down, it's more so just like giving into that urge of like, oh, I just gotta eat something. And then you're just doing it kind of mindlessly. And afterward, like if I went home right now and I ate just anything in sight, like if I got some fast food or if I just whatever, sure, I might just get that like dopamine rush in the moment. But afterward, I know for a fact I'd be sitting looking at myself like, dude, what the fuck? You know, pardon my language here, but like, just what? Was it worth it? My stomach's probably a little bit upset, and I just ruined my whole day of dieting. It just doesn't make sense, you know? So it's just kind of important, I think, to have a value system, you know, internally where it sort of makes you act in a certain way, you know? Like I'm not cheating on my diet because, oh, you know, it's against the rules. I'm breaking the rules if I eat some treats or something. Like, I don't want to be the guy to cheat on it right now, you know? Obviously, I can have refeeds and stuff. You know, earlier I had even a month ago, I had like a couple, you know, pretty big food days. But that was kind of in the process of just like refeed, whatever. Like right now, for me to have any kind of treats like that, there's no validating that in like, oh, it's a refeed. Like, no, that'd just be silly. So it's not as though I'm like keeping myself in line because those are the rules. It's like, this is what I value, so I'm going to act accordingly. And what makes it easier for me is I know that I can eat all sorts of crap just over the horizon. Within just about a month and a half's time, the pressure's off, you know, and I can start actually eating a ton of food and bulking up and putting some freaking size on. So it's like, you know, you just get into a mode, right? But you need at least, I don't know. You just have to give yourself or like draw up some resolve just for a period of time for the sake of, goal achievement. So whether that's, you just want to lose 5 pounds, it's my challenge. I've been averaging on the scale 220. I want to be 215 by the end of the month. I want to be 216 by the end of the month. I want to lose a pound a week. That is insanely doable. A pound a week, you don't even have to work out to lose a pound a week. I mean, you have to be strict with your diet and be in a real deficit, but a pound a week can be done by anyone. It doesn't matter if you're fucking Chris Bumstead or Jay Cutler or just, whoever. Everybody can lose a pound a week. So, just the difference is who's willing to do it, So that's a good little kind of chip on your shoulder feeling. Like, it gets me going when I'm doing my cardio, or if I'm in the kitchen and I'm thinking about food or something, and I think to myself, man, I know everybody else wouldn't do this right now. I know everybody else would be fucking just going crazy eating a bunch of Ben & Jerry's right now. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to actually thug it out and make some shit happen. And that makes me feel good, So just try to get yourself into that headspace where, you want to kill it. And not only do you want to, but you'd like to, and you actually will enjoy to. And I can guarantee every time I've reached whatever goal I've been aiming for, bulking, cutting down, now competing, I mean, it's a really good feeling. It's not like an insane, crazy feeling to get lean every time I do a mini cut, but it's a good feeling because I gave myself a goal, I achieved it, and now I can pick a new goal and work towards that one, So just try to think a little further than just your immediate, 1 hour of time, and just think about what you can make happen. That's if you're in a dieting down context. Same thing with bulking up. A lot of people have trouble even eating enough food to grow. I haven't talked about that for a while because I've just been focusing on dieting almost the last 6 months or so. The first 3 months were very chill, just gradual, slow deficit, not losing, maybe a half pound a week or a pound, I don't know, something like that. But it's really been these last 3 months or so where I would say it's been really on point. So just another few weeks, actually not even a few is 3 to 4, another couple weeks, and then I'm already here, but hopefully you can make it out to the Arnold and come check it out. If you've never been to an expo before, and I really do have to say the Arnold outdoes themselves when it comes to just the entire experience, from the bodybuilding show to the expo floor to all the strongman events and just having everybody there. I couldn't have lucked out by not only just living here, but just being born right next to where the Arnold goes down every year. And I've only been to the expo side of things for the past, I think, 3 years, but I've been to the Arnold Expo before for gymnastics. When I used to do gymnastics as an early teenager, the Arnold has every sport imaginable. It's kind of spread across a couple of hotel conference centers and that central Columbus area. But they've got fencing, they've got gymnastics, I'm sure there's a freaking basketball tournament for the Arnold. So there's no chance you'll be bored if you pull up to come check it out. And even if you don't have a group, do not feel like you need a posse to walk around and enjoy the Arnold. Even just getting to walk and just experience it is really fucking awesome. So if you can't make it this year, guess what? It's going to happen next year. It's going to happen the year after that. Add it to your bucket list. If you're into fitness at all, you will not regret it. Really any expo, but I think the Arnold really is a cut above. That is for freaking sure. So nothing else to say from me. I'm going to go, I'm going to enjoy my cinnamon chicken, and then I will see you tomorrow for either I don't know. I don't feel like I need a rest day, but maybe I should take one because I don't feel like I need one. I want to be able to call it where I take one predictively so that it's more effective. I don't know. I'll think about it. Either way, I'll see you tomorrow.